Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm very happy that we've reached a good number. So far I'm standing at 238. So today we're going to be working on RBAC. So we had already set up our tasks that we are working on. That is, go to our projects board. You'll see that in our planner we have one which is already completed, and that is final as the login. So next, which is in progress, is our RBAC implementation. So with this, if we look on the issue, you'll see we'll have an admin, a moderator, a guest, and just a normal user. So we'll enhance based on modules and actions. So that is to mean just check my internet. I hope that, today won't have buffers with this. So what we have here is to have an enhancement where we get the user, we have a resource and an action. So what does this mean? We need to, in our session, we must have a user, then we must have a resource, then the action that the user wants to perform in the system. So that's how we'll implement our RBAC. So this is so in this we usually have RBAC and RBAC, but with us we'll be going with so in simple terms, so role-based access control uses and implementation. So with this, role-based access control is an authorization model where permissions are managed based on organizational roles. Learn how it works, what it's used for, and how to implement it in your application in 2024 upgrade. So is a cornerstone of application authorization, so much so that it's often synonymous with the concept of managing user permissions. So its widespread use is not by coincidence. It's due to its fundamental utility and relevance in a wide array of application scenarios. In this article, we'll delve into the intricacies of RBAC. So this is the model we'll be working with. We have a user. They need to access a resource. So a customer can view products and make purchase. A salesman manages, can view and edit product listings, access sales reports, and manage customer orders. Then we have system administration. We can say has full access, including user management system settings and access to all data. So this is how we have a checklist for everything. So this is the module. You have a module, then you have these actions. So we have a user, you have a module, then you have an action under it. So that is to mean if we have sales, then you have reports under sales. If you have settings, you have option to edit these settings. So benefits, ease of administration. So it minimizes that administrative burden, adding a new user, changing user's role in straightforward process, requiring only assignment of the appropriate role. So limited in granularity, then role explosion. If we have so many roles, then we can have over privileging. So other alternatives are RBAC. So this is attribute-based access control. Then we have RBAC, which is relationship-based access control. Then we also have policy-based access control, which I think AWS, let's say scheme stroke pattern. Or model. So this is usually very complicated. Okay. So okay. So yeah, I think now we have better byte rate. So yeah, let's continue where there will be need, I'll change. So all factors held constant. I'll just continue with the code level. So I won't take the data layer approach for this. So we'll just implement in the code. So let me go ahead and start crafting how we'll be building on this. So going back to our code, I'll need to implement a function that uses kind of this approach. So I'll demonstrate first. Let's just go with a sample. Where's our common? Okay. Sample.tsx. Yes. So we'll expect to have like a function export function. This function will be named maybe check auth. So this is just for demonstration purposes. So this will check auth. Then we'll take in some props type. These props will need to have a type, what do we call authority? Is it authority really? Yep, let's just call it authority. So this will be, let's just have it as something which is empty. Then we'll have authority, which will either be single authority or an array of authority. Then here we'll pass in the props. Okay. So we'll pass in here the props. So for this prop, meaning I won't use this callback approach, but we'll have the user so that means this callback won't be necessary for us, but I just want to demonstrate how this will work. So we'll have something like maybe an authority, like maybe user, then maybe list. So if someone can get a user list, so if you come here to switch, then I'll need to pass in the list, then so okay, so we have a better rate now. Okay, so we'll have like what we'll be listing here is type. We'll have like a table, const permission table. So this will be our permission table. So then we'll have like a list of so let's create in the common we have constants. Then now we can add here permission table .tsx ts. So this permission table will contain a list of all the roles, the abilities, not the abilities. Will contain list of all the modules and the what we can achieve with them. So we'll export const permission table. So it will just be an object, but we'll export it as const. Okay. So we'll export a type here. Modules. we'll have permission table modules. So in the permission table modules, so this will be key of the permission table, key of type of permission table. Okay. So for now, it's resolving to never because we don't have any any keys. So then we can export type so we'll need to like recursively loop through each and every permission. So let's say like we have a module for profile. Okay, let's just say profile, which will contain things like should I just be an array? Let's have it as an array. So if you're able to edit your profile, then you'll see you'll have a permission module which is profile. So if I add here users, then I say if you can edit, you can list, then you can also you can also create. That means creating a user. So here will be maybe create a profile. Then the users, you create a user, you can list a user, update a user. Then we can also have deactivate. So you know, if you're going to deactivate a user profile, not everyone should be able to deactivate a user profile. Either the user deactivates themselves or someone of higher authority should be able to deactivate. So for the roles, so assign role. So this means that if you have this kind of access, then you can assign a role to a user. So what will happen is so currently we have a user, we have only users in the system, and for permissions and roles we won't have any way of managing them. So what we'll do about it is to just we'll just need to automatically create them in the system so that we don't have to manually do this thing. So if we make an update, we'll be coming back to adjust whatever we have. So this permission table will contain list of whatever is you're able to do with the roles. So permissions. So these permissions will be we can say we need to extract so that what we want to achieve is let's say you have a user, so you have something like user, then maybe list, then user edit. How do you achieve this with this approach? So we'll have a mapped type all upper. So this will take in the role which extends a record of a string. So the keys should be string, and the value should be an array. Let's just say string. Then in here we should be able to get so basically what we need to get is to have like the key which is the, and the permission which is connected to it. So that means in here we'll have C. So we'll end up with a type which will be so let's see how that will go. We'll have K in R. Okay. So we'll have K R. We'll have K in R, which represents the type which we have there. Then what we should be returning is the K. We return the K. R is not assignable type string. Let's just have R. Then we'll have K. So we'll have K, and next to it we'll have R. Then we pass K. I don't know whether this makes sense. So R is pointing to any so we need a key. this type then extend string. The type we pass here extends type where which will okay. So the keys will be string string, then we have any here. So let's assume this extends a bare object. To extend a bare object, then so if k, we'll say here if so r is not assignable to type string. Oh, okay, in key of, sorry for that. Yeah, sorry for that. So it's k in key of r, then now we pass we'll say if k extends string, then we'll return k, then in here we'll have k, we'll have our r, then we pass our k there, else we'll have never. So this means that if whatever we'll pass here needs to extend this bare object, then we return all the values. So if now I say I take my role mapper here, then I pass what's not happening? Oh, okay. So we pass our role mapper. So it needs something here. So let's just fix the formatting here. So in our role mapper, we'll pass type of permission. So if we pass the type of permission table, you'll see we'll have string, but we need to get the string literals. So so how do we get these array? How do you get these? See. Let me see how. ix permission false this format. So we'll have source, then we'll have permission, then so that then profile date then here I start see. So there's just one adjustment right here, which is number. We get, yep. Yes, so we have it here. So then we can pass here p of so we can pass this. Let's see, p of type of so then that should give us a flattened version of this. So this will be very, very handy for us to make sure that so we can name this to can have this auth permissions, then we can have yeah, we can just have auth permissions so that now then we can have a simple utility so we can have a utility permission. So this is a generator .ts. So we'll export a function here, permission generator function permission generator. So they should return us it should return a list of all the permissions that we have in the system. So that yeah, So in here, we'll get our permission table. Const permission. So const permissions will be permission table object dot is. So we'll have our permission table dot map. So we'll have our key, which will be a string. Then what do we return? So for this, we'll have a role. So name will be this will be we'll have modules. We'll have a module with the name. We'll return an object here. So module name, module will be the key. Then for that key, then we'll have list of permissions, which will be an array of permission table. So we'll loop over the permission table dot. So we'll pass in our key dot okay. So const else will be array dot from permission table. No. Okay, so this will be, this should be an array. The element has any type because a special type string can't be used to index type. So no problem with that. I'll just cast this to as any. Any. So we'll have an array. So we'll map over this array, and for each permission, we'll return a name which will be the key, which represents the model, then the permission. So this means so this will be as permissions. So then we'll just return our permissions. So these will be as permission table modules. So description will say permission so we'll add here the permission. Then we'll pass the key, which is our module. We'll see how this behaves once we plug it in. So position will be a string, then we'll also have a description here, which will be key module. Yes. So how will we do this? We'll create our modules. I will create our modules. Then those modules will be persisted in the database. Then those modules will be connected to we'll have a list of permissions. Then we'll now add the roles. So the roles now will contain the permissions. So because this is now intact, we can now go to we can now take this to our where is it? Where are our decorators? Somewhere where I wrote sample code. This one. So here this sample, which I was to explain how it would work. So we said authority will be in this format, but in this Now the authority will be put so that's how we'll put it, so that if you have your props, instead of having this as props, then we'll have the authority in place. Then now this is now what will take precedence. Then now we can just delete this. So here we have our authority. So next, we'll now plug in this to our login required decorator. So we'll just take this authority here. This sample will delete. Move this to trash. Then now we can come to our decorators. Go to our login required decorator. So we'll pass here authority. Then we'll import it. Run a quick fix. Then now if we go to auth permissions, we'll rename this to authority type. Then so this will be authority module. Authority module types. So going back to what we had here, there's something like can pass a list of actions or just a single action. That means if it matches one of those, so with this, it will just make it really simple for us to build on our backend. So with that in place, that means we'll need something to process our authority. So because now we have the authority plugged into our so this means if we have the authority, which will be optional by the way, so we'll need a function here which will extract authority. Okay, so it will extract authority. It will take a string authority, will take either a string or an array an array of it. So if const flattened will be, if we have an array dot is array, our authority, if our authority is an array, if it's an array, then we return authority. Otherwise we return just authority. So then if we don't have so then we'll proceed to validate this. So this will be as authority type array. So we'll cast it to that. Then after casting, the next thing we need to do is to, this is it's a string. Oh, okay. The whole thing should be wrapped so that we cast after conversion. So we get an authority array. Then we need to validate const valid modules. So we'll go back to our permission generator. So then const, so I think I'll have this as a service export class permission generator class then, so this will be generate modules and permissions. Then we have a module which will be our key here, so that we can run an aggregation on it. So meaning we'll create a module, then we create a series of permissions under it. Then those permissions are what now we'll assign to our roles. So generate modules. Then now we can have validate authority. We'll pass in our authority. In our login required, we'll take this and bring it this other side. So Okay, so validate authority. We'll just take this kind any for now. Then we'll pass so here we return permissions. We return permissions. So for us to, we need to validate authority. So that means we need to go through this. We need to generate all this, then validate if it matches any of these. So number one thing here, just have this as is. So in here, once we flatten this, we'll just return. We'll return the flattened. So we'll just return then extract this, remove this. So if type of authority if I can well equal to, it's not a string, we can throw a new API error. We need to throw an error there and remove this. We need to wrap this so that it's housed there. So we'll say invalid authority provided then we can say it status bad request. Otherwise, if the authority is okay, then because we know very well that we can generate these permissions, so we'll generate these permissions const flattened permissions. So this will be generate module and permissions. So once we generate those, we'll run dot map. So role, we'll have a role. So okay, what do we need here? We need the name. So the name is what is important. So we'll pass in the name. Let's see what we get. For the permissions, so what do we have? We'll have an array of so dot map perm, we return perm dot name. So when we return the permission dot name, what we'll get here is the authority type, which is what do you say? So we'll get the authority. So these are the flattened permissions. So then we'll check and see if they now will return. We'll check and see if every authority that we have so we'll extract authority, return extract authority, which will be authority we'll extract our authority there. So if it's undefined, so if type of authority not equal to undefined, defined, then check this up, otherwise return. So we return extract authority if dot every authority. So for each and every authority, you have to confirm if flattened permissions dot includes auth. So So if okay, let's first extract extracted authority. So extracted authorities will assign here. So for the extracted, if extracted authorities dot length is less than 1, then we'll just return extracted authorities, which will just be an empty array. Then so invalid authority provided, this is will provide some metadata, say type. The type of authority will be type of authority. So this is and will earn type of authority not equal to undefined. Yeah. Let's see node x to maybe take y type of y. So x, so if we pass nothing, it will be undefined. If we pass null, null will also solve undefined. Okay, pass null we get undefined. If we pass nothing also we get undefined. So this should take what if we pass also undefined? Okay, how is it that empty object is undefined? Oh. Okay. Sorry. Um, wrong. Const x node. Const x will be taking y, then we return type of y. So we just return the type of y. So if we pass empty to x, it will be a string. Okay, so what if we pass null? Null will be an object. We pass nothing undefined. Pass this object. So I think that should work for us. By the time we see. So just need there. Oh, so for each and every extracted so if it's not included, I think what we'll need to do here, for each and every that will pass here, but so it should only be valid if it's included in the array that we have above, and if not valid, it's not valid, we just need to throw a new API error that is the message will be invalid user information needed. Is indent issues have a status bad results. Format that then we'll just return affected. Yep. Yes, so because we're using this will be private. So this will be an injectable, then add our dependency. Once we add our injectable and dependency, now we can inject this to our service, because let me just rename this permission. Yeah. Okay, generate permission. generations. The reason why we're using flat map here is because if we change this to map, you'll get a 2D array. So if you flat map, then you'll get a 1D array. So okay, is it 2D or I don't know? What I mean is you'll have an array that looks like this. So which has an array of arrays. So this array contains another array. But if you flat map, you'll only remain with. So what that means is this is flattened so that it's a single element and you have it as a single array. So this will be processing our authority. Then now we can just come to our permission generator. Permission generator. Permission authority manager. Yep. And have it as authority manager. So we'll come to our login required. Then in here, before we proceed to adjust our user, we'll need to make up some adjustments. We'll need to add a schema here known as module. Yes. Then we'll export module. Just say auth module. So this will be auth module. For the auth module will be a PG table. Okay. Then we'll name it to auth module. Auth modules. Okay, we'll pass in the table name. Then we'll pass the columns. So in here, we'll have the module name, which will be, we'll have the ID, which will be integer. We'll import from PG core dot not null dot I don't know. Okay, I don't know the difference between these two. Razor difference between that and generate by default as identity. I don't know the difference. Now that we support Postgres identity columns, generate always as identity. Don't we add the difference between these two? Over here. Okay. We'll go with generate always as identity. Yeah, I won't pass anything there. We'll add the name of the module. It will be worker from PG, not null. Then we'll add a description. Which will be, won't have a long description. Want to make it a text field. Then we'll generate timestamps. Get table timestamp. Const. So we'll have our auth module. Name description. Okay. So this will create our migration. New. So they should create okay. Let's create permission. Save it as auth. So we'll export. This will be auth permission. auth permissions. From here, we'll need to add our reference. So we'll take this, come to our auth permission. We'll add module ID. This will be module auth module. Then we'll pass the foreign key constraints, which represents on delete restrict, on update cascade. So this will be our permissions. So we won't make them enums because that will require every time we make a change, we have to update our enum data. So we'll have the name, description. Let me just confirm all the fields. Okay. Should we include the module? I think. Okay. No, we have the module ID, so no need for the module ID, the module name, because we can get a reference of it. Once that is in place, then we can generate a new migration. So this should generate auth permissions table. Yep. So that's it for setting up the auth. So we also need roles. So in here, so auth permissions here, we'll have auth. We'll have auth roles. This will be auth roles. For the auth roles, we'll have the name. We won't have the module ID. Just name and description. Yep. That should be it. This will be auth role. Then user roles. Let me just delete this first. You have the auth roles. Export. Start with the module. auth module, permissions, then we also have the auth. So we have this as singular, format. We have those three. Then we'll add for the roles. We'll add one for the roles. Okay. Next is to have user role. User role. So this should be permissions, auth modules, auth role. Then you have user roles. We have user roles. So for the user roles, I think, let me see, drizzle many to many. Users and groups. User to groups. The relations look similar in far. They even have reference, but it's so the difference. Well, foreign is similar purpose to different relations, different level. Keys for database level constraint, they checked on every insert throw an error if a constant is violated. On the other hand, our relations are higher level abstraction. They are used to find relation between tables on the level only. They do not affect the database schema in any way and do not create foreign key implicitly. What it means, the relations and foreign key can be used together, but they are not dependent on each other. You can define relations without using foreign and vice versa, which allows them to be used with the database that do not support foreign. Following two examples work exactly the same in terms of querying the data using result relation.